All right, so tomorrow's lesson has to do with distributive property, and they sort of assume that you know certain things. And I think either A, you didn't learn them yet, or B, you might have forgot them. So we've been doing distributive property, and we've been doing this with the arithmetic sequence. If you have a number variable here and you have parentheses, you want to get rid of the parentheses, you distribute the 2x to each one of these. So that becomes 2x times 3, because that's 2x times 3. We bring our minus over here, and then we have 2x times y. And then we just go ahead and multiply that out. So we have 2x times 3, that will give you 6x. And then we bring our minus over, and then we have 2x times y, and that just gives me 2xy. All right, so same thing with this. I'd like you to do this problem on your homework page tonight. Write that down. You do it right on the skills page. Your homework is going to be on page 383. So write this down somewhere on page 383 and solve it. And so you might want to pause that and do that. Now the next part is taking this and putting it back into the simplified form. And this is what we're going to be doing tomorrow. So if you look at 2x plus 4y, we want to put this, we want to factor this. So in order to factor it, we have to look at what is the GCF of 2x and 4y. So the first thing we want to do is we want to say what will divide into 2x and what will divide into 4y. Well, I know 2 will go into 2, and I know 2 will go into 4. Now, looking at x here, this does not have an x. They're not like terms, so I cannot use an x in my GCF here, greatest common factor. So that's it. So when I write my answer now, my GCF was 2. I pulled that out. Then we do a parenthesis. 2 divided by 2, that just gives you with 1x or just x. Again, we bring our plus over here. And then 4 divided by 2 gives you 2, and then you have a y, like that. And this is your answer. This is the simplified form. Now, just to prove to you that that's correct, if you want to make sure it's right, go ahead and distribute that. 2 times x is 2x. Bring your plus over, and then 2 times y is 4y. So that is what we had, 2x plus 4y. So this is my answer, 2 times parentheses x plus 2y. Okay, so let's look at another example. So this is called a trinomial, try because it's 3. So the first thing we want to look at is what will go into 3, 27, and 33. And hopefully you know that 3 is the largest number that will go into all of those. And then I look at my variables. That has an x, that has a y, that has no variable. So there's no variables they share, so I cannot include the variables. So like before, we bring our GCF out front, do our parentheses. 3 divided by 3 is 1x, or just x. Bring that minus over. 27 divided by 3 is 9, and then we leave that y in there. And then we have the plus, and then we have 33 divided by 3, which is 11. And this is my simplified answer. Okay, so that's 3 parentheses x minus 9y plus 11. Let's look at one more thing here. Here we have some variables in there. This has an x squared, because remember x squared is just x times x, right? So, oops. So like before, I want to just start with my numbers here and say, what is the GCF for 2 and 10? So hopefully you know that 2 goes into both of those. So we put in 2 here, and we'll divide that by 2. Now, in this case, this has an x squared, x times x, and this has an x. So they both have one x. This has an x here, and this has an x here. So I can include x in my GCF. So when I rewrite this now, 2x is my GCF. Oops. And I do my parentheses. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Now, x squared is x times x. So I can cross off this x, and I'm left with 1x up here. So I'm going to bring that right here. Then I bring my plus over, and then I have 10 divided by 2, which is 5. And then here, x divided by x, which is just 1. So 5 times 1 is 5. And then this is my answer, 2x times x plus 5. All right, so I'd like you to try this one on your skills page again. So you need to take this, find what will go into 14 and 27, and see if you have any x's that you can put in there too, and come up with the answer. So you have those 2 problems tonight. Then you need to complete 13 through 18 on this page 383. And if you did not complete your test self-assessment, you need to do that as well tonight too. And Rudolph and I bid you a good night.